be great when it starts happening and I start recognizing what's going on and what we can do with it. So I'm learning
how to use it.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Healthy You. It's Wednesday morning, so I'm super excited to be with you today. I'm Kim Martin, host of your show, and one of the things that we want to do, and the reason why we have this podcast, is to help you gain knowledge and learn all kinds of stuff about living healthy, so it'll be a little bit easier. You know, living a healthy lifestyle by far is one of the hardest things to do. Yeah. There's so much that goes into it. It seems hard. I think it does seem hard.
I think, but the more knowledgeable you are about things, the more you can make those little changes to live healthier. And sometimes you know what the change is, but you just don't want to know. So it makes it really hard.
I know. So by the way, I'm sure you're getting to know Dr. Christy Durbin as we go along. She's on here with us on the first Wednesday of every month, sharing a wealth of her knowledge and information. And we are going to, be talking about pain and living with pain and what you can do about it and some natural solutions that you have. And you have this new hyperbaric PHP.
Oxygen therapy. It's a hyperbaric chamber, but it's oxygen therapy. So a lot of people maybe have heard about oxygen therapy before. They use hyperbaric oxygen treatments in the hospitals for all different kinds of conditions. And until now, you've had to go to the hospital and have some major diagnosis in order to reap the benefits of it.
Okay.
But about several years ago, a gentleman decided that, if we could get the technology to be a little bit simpler and get the chambers to be a little bit simpler, then we could actually get these benefits out to more people.
Right.
And he really felt like children was really his calling. That's why he decided to really pursue it. But he wanted people to be able to use it, to be able to afford to use it without having to go to the hospitals, without having it be some big to-do, just so they could reap the benefits of oxygen therapy. And so now these chambers are available. We have one in our office.
Of course you do.
Of course we do.
These guys are constantly bringing in new stuff. You and your husband. I got to tell them about this new technology really quick, though, so that we can make sure. I see ourselves. We have this new screen, and I think if it all works well, we are going to be able to communicate with you. If you post a comment on the live video on Facebook this morning, we may be able to see your comment and answer that question. Not sure if it's going to work out super great, but if it all works, we will. But if it doesn't, post your comment anyway, because we'll come back later and answer questions, because this is new.
It's new.
This is a new technology that you guys have in your office. And I have never, when you told me this is what we're going to talk about, I'm like, what? Can you tell me a little more information? So this is new, and we're going to be learning a lot on this show today. So if you are struggling with pain, if pain is keeping you from being active or keeping you from doing the things that you love to do, you want to be sure to tune into this show. If you have friends or family who are struggling with pain, share this show with them. Encourage them to watch. I see Tim is watching. Tim Johnson. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, let us know you're watching. Say, hey, we'll give you a shout out on the show. That'll be fun. And, but share this and show us some love by commenting and posting. This is so cool. I know you guys, Dr. Christy, you guys have so much happening out at Synergy.
We do.
And so this is just one of your newest.
This is new to us.
Right.
So I might stumble through this a little bit as I'm explaining, but I do feel like it's really important to get it out there so it can help more people. And I really hadn't heard of one in our area, the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. So we decided to bring it to our office so that we could, help more people and let them take advantage of it.
Yeah. So explain what this chamber looks like. Because when I think of oxygen chamber, I think of like out in Vegas, they have these oxygen bars and you just go and breathe in all this oxygen. So there's something to be said about oxygen.
Yeah. So oxygen, everything, you need oxygen to live. All of your tissues need oxygen. Oxygen's the most important thing. You can live without water for a little while. You can live without food for a little while. You can't live without oxygen.
Right.
And so, The oxygen bars are just, a way to put oxygen in your body to kind of help, I think, detox for people who are out there.
Been in Vegas for a weekend, need a little
just
detox.
need a little help, with detoxing
Right.
and cleaning out cleaning out those toxins. But with the chamber, there's a law that's called Henry's Law, and it says that gas under pressure will can dissolve into fluid.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the basis of these hyperbaric oxygen chambers. So you're giving the person oxygen while they're inside this pressurized chamber.
Okay.
So like when you think like airplane cabin, ears pop a little bit, you have some pressure. It's similar to that. So there's some pressure in there, especially initially you kind of feel it. But then once you're in there for a little bit, you don't notice the pressure at all. But that pressure will cause your red blood cells to carry more oxygen. So your red blood cells normally carry a little bit of oxygen, and supply everything. So the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, the pressure forces those blood cells to take on more oxygen.
Okay.
So it saturates those blood cells. So then they're bringing that living source to your tissues more readily. So your organ systems, your joints, everything have more oxygen available so they can use it for what they need it for.
And how does that help reduce the pain? Is that an easily explainable thing that we may not be able to understand? Like, so if you get that, so you get in this hyperbaric chamber and you get all of this oxygen and it goes to those joints and stuff. How does
it work?
How does that work in then reducing the pain? Like,
Well,
because I would think, well, I get that, but what happens inside your body to help reduce that pain?
So while you're in the chamber, you also use you can use an oxygen mask in there too. So that helps the extra oxygen. After your red blood cells are full, the extra oxygen then goes into the plasma.
Okay.
So the plasma can go into the joints, the organ systems, the brain, anywhere that has a dysfunction. So you won't notice pain relief or anything right away, but it helps your body repair better because it has the oxygen available. It helps your brain function better because it has the oxygen available. So it just floods your body with that living source, that thing that you need in order to work at your optimum or to work your very best. It just floods that in there. So it's kind of like supercharges your normal processes.
Yeah, that
So
kind of
it
makes sense to me
supercharges.
because like when I'm running and I know I'm breathing harder, I've been running a long distance and I'm not getting oxygen throughout my body properly, I start getting cramps and my muscles literally get so weak.
Yes.
So that makes perfect sense.
So it just floods that good stuff in, supercharging it. Supercharges your whole body. So if you have chronic inflammation and your body's working, trying to get rid of that inflammation, but it just can't get past it,
right,
then this is that supercharge. This is the easy button, to hit so that it goes ahead and works harder and gets that chronic inflammation out of there. But even to help with diabetes, chronic fatigue, even people are used to using it for cancer treatment. Like they use it in the hospitals for cancer treatment.
So you're saying they've been using these hyperbaric pressure chambers like at hospitals for a long time.
To treat all kinds of conditions.
Really?
Yeah. And so this system that this gentleman came up with just kind of took the technology and made it a little more affordable for people, made it more affordable for other offices to have it in their setting so that patients could come in and use it instead of having to be at the hospital using it. Because it's expensive whenever you're at the hospital. Anytime you have to go to the hospital, it's expensive. And so his main goal was really to get this treatment out there to the public so that they could use it and be able to afford it.
Right. And that's the thing. We want you to be pain-free, that's for sure. But we want you to do it as natural as possible.
Right, yeah.
And there are just so many natural options right now. And you guys are just loaded up out at Synergy with different plans and programs and really cool stuff. I mean, we've talked about the stem cell therapy, and it's the PRP therapy, and I'm just in love with that stuff. I think that is so cool. And now you have this hyperbaric chamber, and
so athletes actually what I really was like, oh, we could use this because we have people work out at our facility,
Sure.
And so this will really help athletes too. It helps stimulate healing just throughout your whole body. So let's say you sprain an ankle.
Right.
Or let's say you have a tear in the muscle, or you have a ligament tear or something. It just helps your body repair faster and better and more efficient.
And why wouldn't you want to do that?
It's easy.
Oh, look, Jeannie. Hey, Jeannie. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, if you got any questions about the hyperbaric chamber or for Dr. Christy at Synergy, be sure to type that in and let us know, share. It's so cool. Look, we can see. I love that, this new screen. It's kind of weird. We're a little delayed up there.
Yeah, it looks a little funny.
So don't look there too much.
Right.
We want to look at the camera and talk to everybody, but we do look up and can see that you guys are watching, and we do appreciate that. And of course, our goal is to give you information to help make living a healthy lifestyle just a little bit easier.
Right.
And living a healthy lifestyle is hard.
It is.
But it's doable. I'm living proof. I wasn't healthy most of my life, until in my 20s. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even really get even more healthy until I was in my 30s. It is a process, and it takes little behavior changes every day that start to build up.
And I think you start to recognize how important it is the older you get.
Yes.
Like so many people come into my office and say, oh, I wish I would have taken care of myself 10 or 20 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, really it's about prevention instead of trying to catch up after you have already worn yourself out.
It's like that saying that says, when's the best time to plant a tree?
When?
20 years ago. But when's the next best time to plant a tree?
Right now.
Today. Right. Obviously, we should have started 20 years ago,
Right.
but if we didn't, then today is the best time to do it. And it is never too late to start taking care of yourself.
Well,
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to talk about the preventative care.
Okay, well, I was going to say, because it's in my office, I'm like, okay, I need to start using it. Like I can get in there on my own and use it every day. So I decided, because even when something's in your house, sometimes you don't use it.
You mean the treadmill with all
treadmill.
the clothes or the dust?
Whatever.
My treadmill's in my laundry room all folded up, and I was cleaning house on Saturday, and it was like, oh, that thing's dusty, and I'm back.
Oh, yeah. Or even the vitamins that we're supposed to take. I'm constantly on my husband. Like, did you take your vitamins?
I know.
Like, they're sitting right there on the counter.
Yeah.
And so I decided, okay, I have this chamber. Why am I not using it, right?
Sure.
So I decided I would go ahead and start using it. And I'll describe it a little bit. It's kind of like getting into it's like this big round, it looks futuristic, like you're going on a space trip or something.
It doesn't look too bad. I don't know if they can see that.
Yeah,
but
it's a big round chamber. So it's a big round cylinder that you get in, but it zips up. And so there's a little mat that you lay on a pillow, and there's a window you can see out, so you're not completely in the dark or anything. And it's big.
Chamber sounds kind of scary.
Does, but it's big. Yeah. It's roomy. You can actually sit up inside. I'm short, but I can sit up inside it, comfortably and be fine.
You just want to lay there and relax.
I do.
I'm like, I don't know why you would sit up.
I do.
I would lay there and close my eyes and relax.
Yeah, that's what I decided.
Hide in the chamber.
I do.
I see why you're getting in the chamber.
Yeah.
You're like, you need a little
take
break.
a little snooze. So you turn, like, the motors come on. And it's kind of has that hum, so it's almost like a white noise. So it sounds wonderful when you're in there.
So it's like,
it's nice. Yeah, exactly. But you zip it up, and then it starts to inflate. So at first it's a little deflated, and then it starts to inflate, and it gets really firm. The edges of the chamber get really firm, and you feel a few pops and stuff in your ears. Minimal, though.
As it pressurizes,
just like when you're on the airplane.
Okay,
exactly like that. And then you just lay there. I mean. It's wonderful.
And relax.
And you relax. Exactly. There's, I know of a minister who uses it, and that's where he prepares his Sunday sermon. Like, he gets in it every week, prepares his sermon in there.
He just relaxes and prays and plans it out.
Figures it out. But he doesn't have any major health issue. He just does it for overall wellness.
It's preventative care, and that's what I was going to talk about. We don't look at things like this as preventative care, but, if we're not investing in the time to take care of ourselves and keep ourselves from getting sick, then we're investing in things that are making us sick.
That is the truth.
We're eating out too much. Yeah. We're investing our money. I mean, think about the money that we spend in eating out. Now, I'm not against eating out. No. There are lots of great restaurants and we eat out and we love to do it. It's a great social thing, you know, a couple of times a month. But I'm talking so many people eat out, literally lunch every day, every day. And all that money that you're spending on something that is making you unhealthy, you could invest in
health
and getting in this chamber every week.
Right.
Something that is making your body healthier, or investing in some good products for nutrition and supplements.
Right.
I mean, just that's what we want to get people to understand. It's like if you're not investing in the preventative care, you're investing in things that are costing you your health.
You're right.
And
it's going to end up costing more in the long run once you have that chronic condition or once you have an injury.
Yeah, because I know a lot of you might be watching and maybe you're thinking, oh, right, I hate to know how much that cost, you know, but every time that's the direction that we tend to go. Don't you find that, Dr.
Or does
Christy?
my insurance cover it?
Right. Or the first thing is does your insurance cover it? Well, insurance doesn't cover eating out of fast food every day.
That's true.
We're paying for that. Nobody ever says, does insurance cover eating out of fast food every day?
And that $1 cheeseburger costs you way more in the long run than $1.
Yes. And so technically they say the research is for every $1 you spend on preventative care, you save $5 in the long run. So when you're investing in your health, when you're investing in whether it be chiropractic care, whether you go once a month and get an adjustment, or you do some type of like this hyperbaric chamber pressure, which I'm going to have to try that because from running,
you would like it.
I bet it would just help. In
recovery time is less, lactic acid buildup is less. You feel better doing it. Olympians use it. I mean, they have a list of all kinds of athletes that use it.
Yeah.
So professional athletes, Olympians,
I noticed that as a woman, when I'm running, it happened this week, hormones have something to do with my breathing. So when it's getting close to that time of the month, like really near, within a day or two, when I go out to run, I'm gasping for air like I have asthma. Can you explain that a little bit?
No. I have no idea what's going on with that.
But it's hormonal. I know it's hormones. So your hormones have something to do with that oxygen.
Well, and your hormones control everything in your body basically. So, I mean, it makes everything harder sometimes when your hormones are out of whack.
I just wonder if maybe doing this change would help that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
To find out. I'm going to have to come out.
It might. And that's the thing. I'm still learning about it. So, when people come in with different conditions, I can look at the list and I can look at the research and let you know, it's going to help with that, or no, it isn't. But
so what are some of the things that it helps with?
Well, it has on this list right here I'm looking at, it has things like ADD, ADHD, which I would not have thought about.
Really?
Because it supplies your brain with more oxygen. It supplies all your systems with more oxygen, so it helps your brain function better.
All right.
It helps with brain injury. That's on there. Anxiety, dizziness, headaches, inflammation, muscle pain, stroke, disc herniations, chronic fatigue, Bell's palsy, rheumatoid arthritis. It helps with sports enhancement, which we were talking about, cerebral palsy, digestive disorders, even things like Lyme's disease. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is because bacteria, viruses, fungus can't live in an oxygenated environment. So let's say you do have a bacterial infection.
Okay.
Your body's going to be more able to fight that off, and the oxygen itself helps to fight that off because things can't live in an oxygenated environment like that.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, as long as
your body is just going to be in a healthier state all around when it's got plenty of oxygen.
Right.
Wow. Anything else on there? That's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, it is a really long list. Like even allergies, asthma. You said your breathing, so it probably would help with that. Wound healing, which is probably where I heard about the hyperbaric oxygen chamber first, was through wound healing.
Really?
Like really bad burn victims, really bad cuts. I had heard of people going and using those sessions to heal up their tissue.
Okay.
And so I think that's when it first, came into my thought process was for wounds. But it's used just for so much more.
So now, as a preventative care, so if someone like myself who is very interested in staying healthy and investing some time and money into natural things to do to help my stay healthy, would I come weekly? Would
Once
I
a
come
week.
every month, or
You come once a week.
so once a week?
Yeah,
and
and
then
you would see how you felt, and then if you felt fabulous, then you might do every other week. But I would
Okay.
say once a week to start with, and then you might decrease it down to once a month just to maintain that good health.
okay. And how long do you stay in there?
An hour.
A whole hour? Oh wow.
But you can take your
I
phone
can
in
see-
there.
oh,
You
yeah.
can take work
No,
in there.
Who wants
you
to take a phone in
you
there?
can
Jeannie,
snooze.
more about the chamber. Can we rent? Where do we go to use it? And approximate cost, say weekly. So more about the chamber that you get
Okay.
into. Can they rent? So it's not
can't really-
renting.
no.
You go to Synergy.
You come into the office. It's just like an appointment. So you would just come in for a regular appointment, and you would go and use the chamber.
Okay. And it takes about an hour.
It
we
takes
talked
about an hour, and we're running specials on it all the
Okay.
time because it's new to us. So we're
Sure.
doing new specials. You can buy a package, and we offer a 20% discount just for saying that you saw it here.
Yeah,
So
there you
you'll
go,
get
Jeannie.
20% off those packages. But when I say it's affordable, it's affordable per session.
Well, and you think about where we're spending our money. You're going to spend your money. You're spending it somewhere.
Right.
So that I went yesterday and got my nails done. Now, granted, I think that makes me feel good. So
It's important.
It's
right.
important. But if you're in pain, it's more important to invest that money on reducing your pain level so that you can be active versus getting your nails done maybe.
Yeah, and really,
You have to just
$50 a session.
Yeah.
I don't think that's, if you're using it once a week, you probably would spend $50 going out to lunch every day.
Oh, no doubt about
know?
it. Yeah. And then do you guys have where you can buy so many sessions
do.
and you get a little
A
bit
package.
of discount on the
Exactly.
package deal?
Yep.
So, and if it's keeping you well,
Right.
you're saving money all the way around. And ultimately, we want you to invest in your health. That's what Melissa and I were talking about last week. Last week's show was all about investing in your health, whether it be your time or your money.
Right. Yeah, people do say, "Oh, I don't have time for that." It's like you do. You do
No,
have time.
You make time.
You do.
If you're either making time to be well or you're making time to be sick. Again, it's just how you look at it.
Right.
Okay, so do you make an appointment? Do they come in?
Nope.
Can they do?
We always do a free consultation. So they could call the office, schedule a free consultation, let us know you want to talk about the hyperbaric chamber. And then I sit down with you and do a consultation. We just talk and figure out, what's going on with you, what needs you have, and how we can best suit those needs.
And you always do free consultations.
Always. I love to talk to people, and I feel like if people don't have their options, then they don't know what they should do. They can't make an informed decision. So I take out the financial barrier of learning, so they can come in and learn all they want,
Right.
And we can discuss it, and then that way they can make an informed decision about what to do for their health.
That is amazing. And the options you have. Again, it comes back to having, this whole concept of having everything under one roof.
Right.
I love that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. At Synergy Healthcare, we have, it started out chiropractic.
Right, because you're a doctor of chiropractic.
I'm a chiropractor and I do acupuncture. And then we added in medical staff so we could do more medically oriented things like joint injections, trigger point injections, and things of that sort. But we still wanted to stay on the more natural side of things. So even though we have medical services, we still tried to stay more in the natural healing area.
Anytime you can do it naturally, it's
That's
always
what we want
better.
to do,
Sure.
right? And so then now we've added the amniotic allograft, which is a regenerative medicine.
Sure.
So that helps your body. That's what Kim loves.
That's the stem cell
Yeah,
therapy.
yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that
That
helps.
is, to me, guess what I just heard?
What?
That they're going to be using stem cell therapy for your teeth. I was like, where was that? I got a mouthful of bridges and crowns and root canals. And so instead of doing root canals, they're going to be able to do this stem cell therapy.
Awesome.
Is that amazing?
It's awesome.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's awesome.
That's really awesome to me.
Yeah,
So,
I love it. I mean, I just love the whole idea of your body repairing itself.
Me too.
It's supposed to. I mean, we're designed to do
That's
that.
right.
We are, but we don't give it what it needs.
Right.
So, in our office, we try to give the body everything it needs in order to repair itself and work at its best.
Right.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
You want to work at optimal level.
Right.
And if that's the case, you have to take care of yourself. You have to
You have to give it what it needs.
Give your body what it needs. I love this, the whole idea of the oxygen, because I know enough about health to recognize that makes sense.
It's life.
That
Oxygen
it's life.
is life.
Oxygen is life. And so if you're giving yourself plenty of oxygen, your body's able to rejuvenate. I would think your immune system too.
It does. It improves. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you're getting less colds and all that good stuff. We got to get some success stories on here.
I know.
We're like,
It's hard. People don't want to come on here and
gotta
talk.
trick them. You have to trick them like I trick you.
I know. Oh, it's no big deal.
But now look at
It's
you.
no big deal.
It really isn't, right?
Right.
We're having a conversation.
Right. You make it easy, Kim.
Oh, I don't know. Thank you.
You do.
But we're just talking and we're learning. And as we learn, then people are able to watch and learn too.
Right.
And that's what it's all about,
Right.
because knowledge is power. It
Right.
really is. The more you know. So I want to talk to some of those success stories, though. I'd love a stem cell therapy success story. Make your dad come on. Even bring your dad.
3 hours away, or else he would be here for
Well, you
sure.
can plan a trip for
I
him to
should.
come visit.
Yes, I will
But
do
I
that.
know, I've had a couple of members that have went through the program, and
And we have plenty of people that'll talk to you on the phone about it, but sitting here and having the conversation, I don't know. They're a little shy.
maybe if they just talk to me first.
Yeah.
Well, what you could do is convince them to just come down. And if they
hang
decide
out.
and hang out. And then if they decided that they didn't want to do it, we won't force them.
And the camera accidentally shines on them.
It's so funny how people are very nervous about the whole video and the live video and
It is a little, my first time, I remember I didn't sleep the night before. I was extremely nervous, so I understand.
Yeah, and you didn't even realize that first time we did a live video, and you're like, I thought this was a radio show.
I didn't have my hair done. I didn't have makeup on. Nothing.
That's awesome. Okay, so listen, I hope you have enjoyed learning more about this hyperbaric oxygen chamber. The word chamber kind of scares me a little bit, but it's therapy. It doesn't really look like a chamber. It looks like a very comfortable place to lay for an hour and take a nice nap.
It's like a cocoon.
And help your body heal itself, because we know that if you're in pain, it's very difficult to exercise. It's debilitating,
Right.
and to stay active. And so we want to help you as much as possible. And Dr. Christy out at Synergy, you guys do an amazing job providing just tons of opportunities to help people get out of pain.
I love it.
And so that's awesome. Hey, how can they get in touch with you?
They can call our office. It's 688-4484. We also have a Facebook page, Synergy Healthcare.
Yep, which we tag them. So you should be able to find them really easily. You guys got exercise out there. I mean, you could do everything. You really can, all under one roof. It's so cool.
It's fun.
I love having you as my guest.
Well, thank you,
See,
Kim.
it's nothing doing these videos, so we got to round up a success story for next time.
We will. I'll
Okay,
try.
that's our goal. All right. Hey, Jeannie, Tim, thanks for joining in live this morning. We really appreciate that. And if you're watching later, which I know most people do, come back and watch it later because we're kind of on early in the morning. Post those comments, share, show us some love. Let us know you were here. We really appreciate that. Dr. Christy, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
You can find Dr. Christy here on the first Wednesday of every morning on Healthy You. And so we thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yay. Yeah, this is cool. I want to try this because especially around
PeoriaLife.com